All right, y'all. So we're about to get into the tea because it is hot. But before we do that, we got to talk about this group trip to Vietnam, March 14th through the 20th of 2026. I want you to be there. If you have seen our trips to Bali, to Thailand, to Zanzibar, and our upcoming one to Cape Town, you don't want to miss this one to Vietnam. People ask me, why did I choose Vietnam? I mean, look at it. We got good pricing in terms of the currency conversion, so the dollar takes you further. We got beautiful landscapes and we got great Vietnamese food and shopping. Plus, 3 cities, so we're gonna be running around this country looking all types of crazy and all types of lit. And we got a 2 day luxury cruise, y'all. A 2 day luxury cruise. So I need you to go ahead and make your reservation today. Go ahead and make your deposit today. You can put it on a payment plan. Click the link in the description. Now we can really get into this tea.
Hmm. Well. Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And just as I was setting up to do today's video, I happened to catch the news. And y'all, Jen Shah is about to be a free woman. Jen Shah, for those of you guys who are Jen Shah fans, this is about to be Shah amazing for you. But in the latest edition of reality TV Crime Stoppers, we now have someone who will be on the loose. Now, I say that loosely, but she will be free nonetheless on December the 10th, y'all. For those of you guys who are looking to celebrate, what is that date on? That day is on a Wednesday, the second Wednesday of December. Y'all, so the question then becomes, do you think that she will be asked to come back to Salt Lake City? I mean, we've got a lot of, alleged crimes that we're talking about this week. And so we just going to keep this thing going. All right. I'm going to put your comments on the stage for those of you guys who have tapped into the room. Now, before we dive all the way into this, make sure you guys like this video first, smack it, flip it up, rub it down, caress it, massage it. I don't care what you got to do. Just do it. Mm-hmm. 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 She did say that. She absolutely said it. So let's get into the details of the release. All right. So according to People Magazine, a shout out to Queens of Bravo for posting this. She's going to be released from federal custody earlier than expected. Now, people got the exclusive that the Federal Bureau of Prisons has approved a December 10th departure date for Jen Shah. The decision marks the latest reduction to the 6.5-year sentence she's been serving since February of 2023. Y'all, so she did just about what? I mean, it hasn't been that long, right? It's been like what, 2 years and some months? Anyway, for her role in a long-running nationwide telemarketing scheme. Now, it says here, Jen Shah's manager, Chris Giovanni. I didn't know she had a manager still, but I guess it makes sense since she's about to be released. Everyone's very grateful for the BOP's decision, especially because it means Jen will be able to reunite with her family for the holidays. It's a gift she doesn't take for granted. Jen's in a really positive, hopeful place mentally. She's done a lot of reflecting and real growth during her time away and is genuinely not the same woman as she was before. Her focus is on her family and building a healthier, more grounded life. She understands the seriousness of the mistakes she made and is excited to put this chapter behind her so that she can show everyone the woman she's worked hard to become. Now, the representative for the Federal Bureau of Prisons tells People for privacy, safety, and security reasons, we do not discuss any incarcerated individuals' conditions of confinement or specific release plans. Okay. So, why is this important? Let's follow the breadcrumbs. Y'all know I like a case. And so we're about to get down into the nitty to the gritty on this one. I want to take you guys on a journey with me because was it yesterday? I think it was just about yesterday that we talked about the chairman of Bravo, um, Unscripted, Frances Berwick. We talked about her statement about Nene Leakes potentially or the possibility of Nene Leakes returning to a show. All right. Um, but is the door open for Kenya Moore? We talked a little bit about that. That's not off the table. But what we did not go over was the return of Jen Shah and Karen Huger and how likely these two things may be. So I want you to walk with me as we read through some of her statements. All right. So the question for Karen was: We saw Karen Huger. We saw Karen Huger get a standing ovation the other night, and she's sitting down with Andy in the Real Housewives of Potomac finale after being released from prison for her fourth DUI. What makes something forgivable within the Bravo universe? I think that this is a great question. So Francis says this: It's a variety of things, and it's also about the level of accountability, the level of change that the person is going to make. The audience is with Karen because they're rooting for her, because they think and believe that this will profoundly change her. I took the standing ovation as a sign of support for somebody who's now taken accountability. That's borne out by what she says to Andy. And then I think there are things that are less favorable, but we won't know what those are. When asked directly, will Karen be on season 11 of The Real Housewives of Potomac? She says, I couldn't tell you because we haven't picked that one up yet. The pickup typically happens after the reunion, but the decision is usually, I would imagine, made either sometime around the ending of the season, reunion taping, and then they're going to decide who's coming back. And that's when the pickup letters typically go out. All right, so let's get back to Jen Shah because now she's being released. So when it's picked up, I'll ask. That's what the person said about Karen. Jen Shah, is that one that's less forgivable? And Francis says, for me personally, yeah. But again, I have no idea on the level of accountability, but yes. So Jen Shah's crimes are looked at less favorably with regards to the network executives, or at least this one in particular. Okay. So that's where we have it. So do we think that there's a possibility that Jen Shah could come back to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? I would not bet on it for me. I would not. I just don't see a world where we bring Jen Shah back, despite whatever it is that Angie may be feeling with regards to Jen Shah or Monica. I just don't see I don't see there being a place for Jen Shah in this particular world of Salt Lake City as it stands now. And I also don't think that Andy would see it for her either. And I don't know that the audience would as well. I just think that, as you're right, as you stated, Angie had to pick one. And I think she probably chose for her what felt like the lesser of two evils. Okay. So that's that on that. But just so you guys know who are fans of the Jen Shah, she is set to be released next month in just about 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Did y'all happen to catch this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? I did watch it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very relationship oriented. We got to see John and Lisa and the tension there. I mean, the tension there seems to honestly boil down to this. I think that Lisa Barlow doesn't really listen to many people. I think that she talks and she only hears herself and she hears what she needs to hear to respond to what the person is saying. I don't think she hears to really listen and absorb, and I think that's her issue. You have Bronwyn and Todd, who personally speaking, I would honestly care to never. I could not care to see Todd on my screen ever again. I don't in general believe that he likes filming. I don't in general believe that he likes his life being broadcast to millions. I think Todd probably may want to allegedly look at his women on his phone in peace and whatever they have arranged for their marriage, be that. I personally don't like the way he speaks to her. I don't like the way he looks at her. I don't understand why she continues to stay in this situation, other than I'm sure their lives are entwined in the business aspect of their marriage. And for that, that is a very difficult thing to depart from once you have built a system for your life, your business, your kid. I mean, there's just a variety of things that I feel like that's probably why she stays in that marriage. Pretty much. Okay. So he is, as just as you said, he's a buzzkill. And personally speaking, he is like, I just don't understand why somebody as vibrant and bright as Bronwyn is with that man. But he must got the money. I do agree with him on one aspect. I do not think that listen, I'm not a fan of I don't want to talk to none of my friends about what the intimate lives, what they're doing in the bedroom with their significant other. I just don't want to talk about that. I don't want to know. Um the less I know about your relationship, actually, the better. Because should something go wrong, I do not want to know any details about it because I don't want to be in the mix of the drama of your relationship. Okay. I would prefer that you keep all of that drama to yourself and, just keep it cute when we're all out and hanging out. Now, if you have made a decision that you are going to leave your spouse and this is a final situation, at this point, let me in on it. And if you need some help packing up the bags, then I will definitely help you. But unless it's in black and white ink, you are the moving company is on the way. Do not talk to me about it. Okay. Talk to your therapist. Listen, I'm not saying that I don't want your friendship. I'm simply saying that for me, that's a boundary. I don't want to know about it. Okay. That's where I'm at. Where I'm at in life and at this point now. And I'm gonna do the same. Okay. I'm gonna do the same. Um, the ladies end up going to Mary's church, and the church is a Pentecostal church. So I had my own expectations of what I would see. I had my own expectations of what I would not see. It's Bravo, it's a network, so I did not assume that we would be getting any scripture there. I definitely felt like they were going to give us what this particular experience would be in Mary's church, and I felt like she was going to address the ladies, and she did. And I felt like it was going to be a toe tapping good time, and it was. And I think that if you um, I love that the ladies came. I love that the ladies embraced it. I did not quite understand a couple of things. I mean, yes, we are. Oh my God, how could I forget this? Brittany Bateman, girl, please, please, girl. If there's ever somebody else that needed to dump the person that they was dating, it would be you. Brittany is going on a walk with Jared, and this man is gaslighting the F out of her. Okay. She keeps asking, what are we doing? And he just, I mean, the way he maneuvers around ever answering what they're doing, girl, like he does not want you like that. He does not want you solely. Okay. He can't. Right. So you just need to stop making a fool out of yourself and running through the woods and in wedges before you trip and fall and hurt yourself. Okay. Because falling a wedge, in my estimation, it seems like it will be a very painful fall because once that ankle gives, I don't know what's going to happen. And you're going to go tripping down over some tumbleweed. And the last thing we need is for you to be rolling down the hill in that dress. Because I don't even think that man is going to be bothered enough to try to catch you. Okay. Period. Next. Um, the drama is whether or not also too, the ladies gather around to make Brittany feel better about what she experienced with Meredith on the plane, which I'm still trying to figure that whole thing out because why was she not ejected? Why was no air marshals called? Why did she not get the Porsche treatment? If she was that bad to Brittany, why was nobody called and they were in the business class? And who else was in business class that was putting up with this nonsense? problem. Okay. So anyway, they all get together, they give her some teddy bears, and Mary, the teddy bears all say something, like they record a message for her. And of course, Mary says nothing. And I love that Mary is just authentic to who she is. And she's like, I will be here for you because I feel like Meredith was wrong, but I'm still not gonna give you any energy because I still don't like you. Okay. So speaking of Mary, they go to Mary's church and they have, they praise the Lord. Woo, woo, woo. They do all the things. And there is something that Lisa says that I just thought was like, girl, what are you talking about? She talked about how her business donates to the church of the, I ain't gonna say it on this platform, but I was like, what are you talking about? And what do you know? They came out and made a statement and they said they've never received any Vita tequila from that woman. I'm like, girl, why are you on TV bragging about how you give your now? Listen, I'm thankful for my bottle of Vita tequila. But at the end of the day, I mean, I would not be bragging about how you have given some tequila to them people. And we talking about Mary's church. What are you talking about? Why would you brag about that? I don't know that there's anything to brag about, but my word. And then for them to come out and say that you ain't donating nothing to them, that's equally as embarrassing. Why would you even want to have that association? That's crazy to me. Whatevs. I don't get it. All right, so that's that. Let's get into Wendy because I wanted to talk to you guys about this yesterday, but Wendy and her people are clapping back, okay? Wendy and her people are clapping back and they have made a statement in regards to the aliases that we spoke about yesterday. Pam and Hennessy. So in regards to the aliases that had come out, and because it was said that the aliases were used to cleverly mask Wendy and Eddie's identities, and that they had 40 debit and credit cards. Now, on our video, I did try to ascertain maybe why they might have 40 credit cards and debit cards, but I still couldn't make sense of the amount. Regardless of your business, I mean, unless you got like a lot of employees that are making employee purchases, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. But I'm gonna tell you what Wendy and her team are saying, okay? At the outset, police failed to properly investigate the initial burglary despite clear indications of a break-in, displaying the clear bias against the Osefo family. The Osefos heard nothing but silence from the police for over 18 months, despite complete cooperation and requests for updates. It is common knowledge that other Real Housewives cast members have also been victimized after documenting their travel on social media, yet none face this level of scrutiny or criminal charges. We believe it is deeply unjust for the sheriff's office and office of the state's attorney for Carroll County to publicly expose confidential financial information about Eddie and Wendy Osefo. What is most disturbing is that the state appears to have begun investigating only after charging the Osefos, which is a highly irregular approach that raises serious concerns about motive and fairness. The public release of the family's private financial details serves no lawful purpose and only invites conclusory opinions about a case the state is obviously still investigating. The Osefos have never used an alias on any financial application. This allegation is false and misleading. Such names were used, might I remind you, Eddie Hennessy and Pam Oliver, were used for the delivery of packages following their lawful purchase to safeguard the identity of very public figures. It is ironic for the state to assert or exaggerate the existence of any purported debt in connection with this accomplished professional couple. Due process is paramount to the administration of justice, and its breach by misleading the public with a false narrative has only compounded the harm. The defense is confident the court will prevent any further violation of the Osefo's right to a fair trial. So I think that reading this gives me the impression that I think we know what the defense will likely be for this particular case. And I think it lies somewhere in whether or not they are being unjustly targeted, how and why that might be. Now, I don't know anything about Carroll County. Okay. I don't know nothing about that place. But what I do know is if they get out of this situation, um, they should move away from there immediately. Um, so yes, it sounds like they did use the aliases, but it sounds like they used the aliases because of the packages that they may be receiving, right? So here's the thing. I see that people are saying, okay, well, get a PO box. I see that. But I think that there's also the situation where you're having things delivered that you have to either sign for or maybe even just having food delivered to the house, right? I don't know what that situation may be, but I would dare say that, I mean, you cannot Uber Eats or DoorDash or DoorDash your groceries to the PO box. I mean, I don't know that they do that, but I maybe they will. But I'm just saying for the sake of I think ease of people not knowing who live there because that would immediately also make them targets. This is why to me one of the things that I always question is when a reality TV show shows the actual aerial view of the home or the street view of the home that the stars live in, I honestly think that they should just start showing stock footage of a home and a general area. I think that they should only show the actual inside of the home because there are too many people who watch these shows who can see the 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 evolution, the house, the elevation, they can see it. So because people, and I always think about this when we're watching these shows, I get it that they want to show us the lifestyle of the person or lack thereof in some instances, but I just think that in for the general terms of safety, because if this keeps happening to stars on the network, then people are going to be obviously watching the homes and they see the homes. And then the neighborhood, they know the homes, right? Not to mention the telltale cameras crew. There's a couple of vehicles that have to be there when you film that are outside your home. So some of these things are just going to be known to the community anyway. And depending on the community, you may have to actually get approval to film there. One or two aliases, maybe, but 40. So I don't know that there were 40 aliases, but there were 40 debit and credit cards. But I don't know what names were on the credit cards. Because this statement makes it seem like, oh, we're just using these for like it's legal reason. We like nothing was illegal, but I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't know about having 40 credit card and debit card. So I mean, this is above my pay grade. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, Thank you for that super chat. But yes, then we also have the returns and refunded items. So, yeah, it seemed like it was inferred by the state, but it's hard to say, you know. So I don't know, guys, and I don't even know why one would have that many credit cards and debit cards. I mean, I mean, I don't. It's like one debit card is enough. All right. All right. I don't need a lot of debit cards. It depends on how many bank accounts you got. All right. You got a business account, you got a personal account. You might have another account if you share an account with somebody else. I don't really know. All I know is that's a whole lot. It sounds like a lot of work. All of this sounds like a lot of work to me. Okay. It's a lot of work. So all of this is to say this. Let's talk about the Mia update of it all, y'all, because we have some new details. We have been on the case, and I'm going to tell you guys what we have found. All right. So, according to page 6, Mia was sued for not paying rent weeks before the theft arrest. So, company Encore Management filed a lawsuit against against Mia and her ex-boyfriend and roommate Jared McGriff on September the 11th. Okay? So this lawsuit was filed way back in September. And now we know that the roommate, according to page 6, was an ex-boyfriend. All right? Now, in these court docs, which page 6 did view, the company claims Mia and Jared rented a property and failed to pay the rent on the unit located in Atlanta. So maybe I guess she was just staying with him, but I don't know if she was staying with him and then as like a friend type situation and then maybe dating Bobby Valentino. I'm not really sure about that. Wait, is that ink? Is that ink? Do we know if that's ink or not? I don't know if that's ink or not. I don't know. All I know is it says Jared McGriff. All right. It might be Jared Hennessy for all I know. All right. Encore Management demanded that the duo be evicted and pay the past due rent of $5,100 for September plus $6,085 per month up until the date of judgment. So they're basically saying that the past due rent was $5,000, but they're asking for an additional $1,000 per month up until the date of the judgment for the lawsuit. $5,000 is a lot for an apartment, but I don't know what the apartments are going for in Atlanta. So you guys would have to educate me on that because that just seems like a lot of money. Surely you could just if you downsize just a little bit. Anyway, hindsight, right? Hindsight. Everything is clear in hindsight. Trust me. Um, Now then this says the reality star and her boyfriend have not responded to the lawsuit. So they're making it seem like unless they meant to write ex-boyfriend, they wrote boyfriend. And then Us Weekly was the first to report on the eviction. They've reached out to Mia but have not received a response. Now, y'all know she was arrested on Wednesday at Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport after law enforcement was called to the Customs and Border Protection Office where they were informed of a wanted person. And that's where we find that she was accused of stealing $11,000 worth of furniture from the same condo that she failed to pay rent on. The condo manager claimed in the report that Thornton abruptly moved out of the unit in the middle of the night without notice on October 28th. So I'm going to tell you what items were taken. So the $11,000, these are the items. A TV, which we talked about. I told y'all a TV was involved. Well, I think it might have been also it mentioned in the report that the TV was involved. And I told y'all some of these TVs are very expensive and heavy. So she couldn't have just moved it all by herself. A dining room table, 7 dining room chairs, 2 accent tables, a sectional couch. I did tell y'all a sectional was involved. I felt like we knew that a sectional was involved. Okay. A floor lamp, 2 patio chairs, and patio table, and even a fireplace remote. And apparently, she waived her first appearance in court, and the bond was set at $2,500, and she cannot return to the condo. She was not present, but Gordon was present. So people asking where was Gordon? He was at the courthouse, attending in support. Okay. Now, back to the scenario at hand. As you guys did state, you were correct when you guys informed me that she did say that she was aware she had a warrant out for her arrest. But I'm like, if you were aware, I mean, maybe she's like maybe many people, but like, I'm maybe okay. So if she knew she had a warrant out for arrest, did she know that meant she would be caught at the airport? Or I don't know I don't know what, I'm curious about that one. Yeah, I mean, I have so many questions now. I mean, I have less questions, but at least now. Wait, was Ink arrested as well? Okay, y'all, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I have a package being delivered and I need to grab that immediately. Stand by, y'all.
All right, y'all. So we're about to get into the tea because it is hot. But before we do that, we got to talk about this group trip to Vietnam, March 14th through the 20th of 2026. I want you to be there. If you have seen our trips to Bali, to Thailand, to Zanzibar, and our upcoming one to Cape Town, you don't want to miss this one to Vietnam. People ask me, why did I choose Vietnam? I mean, look at it. We got good pricing in terms of the currency conversion, so the dollar takes you further. We got beautiful landscapes, and we got great Vietnamese food and shopping. Plus, 3 cities, so we're going to be running around this country looking all types of crazy and all types of lit. And we got a 2-day luxury cruise, y'all. A 2-day luxury cruise. So I need you.
Yeah. So come on the trip. All right. My apologies, y'all. I am back. Okay. The name that I use is Richie Hennessy and Coke. Okay. Richie Hennessy and Coke. Okay. Uh yeah. So I mean, Richie Hennessy and Coke. Rich Henny if you like, you know. That Rich Henny if you're nasty, right? All right. So yeah, I was trying to see if Ink had been arrested too, but I don't see no news. I don't know. But Akon was arrested on a bench warrant before flying off for tour dates in India. And again in Atlanta. Ugh, my God. Stay out of Atlanta, y'all. Jeez. All right, so listen, that's the tea we got for y'all today. I'm trying to talk a little bit less because my I have been going hoarse a lot recently, and I still got a couple of more, video type things to do. So listen, if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Thanks for tapping in, tuning in, being turned on to today's video. Make sure you guys like this video if you like reality TV related content. Also, too, like I said, Vietnam. Let me tell you guys about Vietnam real quick. I have two $200 off coupons. I'm going to tell you what to use. Use Skye 200. All right. Skye 200 will give you $200 off. I just got these 2 coupons. I have not given them out to anyone yet. These are new coupons. Y'all, grab them, because if you are somebody who has been dying to go, you want to take a couple of $100 off, go ahead and do so. Grab a friend, tell a friend, and bring them on the trip. We do have some spots left, so I want you to be able to come and enjoy yourself and have a good time. All right. And y'all know, if you get a new if you order a phone and you have it delivered, like they don't let you, like you can't have them just put it on like the porch and nothing like that, or in the mailbox. That you gotta sign for that thing. And I was like, I am not gonna be chasing these people around all day and all weekend to get this phone. Okay, not gonna do it. So with that being said, y'all, let me go and do my thing and do what I gotta do, and I will holler at you guys in the next video.